Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Dr. Cammy and Karen Go Keto, where I am here with Mike Collins, the sugar-free man. I love your sign in the background that we get to see your sugar-free man. And we are here today to talk a little bit about the restructuring of our YouTube channel, of my YouTube channel, Dr. Cammy and Karen Go Keto. And so we have been since 2023, August of 2023. So it's been just about 2 years that we've had this channel up and running. Karen and I have learned a lot, and we've really enjoyed being in our channel, and we've learned a lot about each other. And as I was trying to fit myself into a keto lifestyle, and then ultimately, and then figuring out that I was addicted to sugar and needing to get off of the sugar, and then ultimately trying to go to a carnivore diet because I was not losing weight in the other ways. We have figured out that for me, this is not a diet that's going to help me at this point in time. Karen is really gung ho on a carnivore diet. She's doing great. She's been incredibly successful. She's very well versed in the community. She knows a lot of things about a lot of people, what's going on there. We're going to be going to a meetup in Boston on the 28th of June and hanging out with all the carnivore people there. And so she is heading in that direction. And I have not had success in getting rid of my binging that I've been doing with my binge eating issues and staying completely off of sugar, flour, and caffeine. And so we are going to be dividing the channel, and she is going to go her own way. And I'm still debating what to do about the channel, but I'm thinking I want to keep the channel. I'm afraid of what's going to happen in the channel by myself because I think I can be honest and vulnerable and courageous and, put it out there as I continue to heal in this journey of addiction to sugar, flour, and wheat. And I just want to say, and caffeine, we should really put that in there. So I don't want to even admit to that one at this point in time. But I do want to thank Mike for being here. And I do want to continue with this. I think we have followers who really enjoy the conversations that Mike and I have had and working in that direction of having a healthy ketogenic lifestyle. So thank you so much for being here, Mike. And if you want to talk a little bit about the lived experiences and kind of talk to them about that, that would be great.
Yeah, so one of the discrepancies with Karen and yourself is that, some people aren't addicts, and I'm not 100% sure that Karen is an addict. And peer recovery, by its very nature, lived experience, a person with lived experience who's been through it, helping another person who wants to get through it. Because there's, part of the struggle that we've had over the years in growing sugaraddiction.com, the Quit Sugar Summit, our certification, all this kind of stuff, is that people come to us for diet information. It's very similar to the evolution of your channel, right? So they come to us to lose weight. That's their first goal, 95% of them. We have to ease them into it because every diet book on the planet says quit the white stuff, right? So they want to quit flour and sugar. And most of our clients are women between, 45 and 90. And they've struggled with weight their whole life, and they've struggled with sugar, and they've kind of realized that sugar is their Achilles heel, right? And so and this is hard because no one wants to be an addict, quote unquote. And, they don't even use the word addict on the government websites or even addiction. It's substance use disorder. And it's considered a derogatory term, and people are looked down upon. I think of the guy under the bridge with the brown paper bag. But most of our clients now, and I think, like I said, in the evolution of your channel and your recovery, you've come to the conclusion, I think we talked about this offline, that, you already have some addiction background that, you've recovered from, and that sugar there may be some other things besides a food plan and an exercise plan. You know what I mean? There may be other issues, other ways you need to learn, things you need to learn, self-soothing methods, and possibly to excise some of the trauma from the, stuff that you were using sugar for to tamp down emotions, right? And this guidance process is different than, get down and give me 20 push-ups and don't eat any cookies this week. It's like different than your trainer would do, right? And so we're, I think, and I think we talked about it pretty extensively before we came on today, is that we're going to move in that direction more. Like we've done a lot of that work, and Karen, poor Karen, she kind of sat on the sidelines, like a little dumbfounded at what we were talking about. Because again, I don't believe that she is or was an addict, and so it was hard for her to relate to some of the stuff we're talking about, right? And so I think it's going to be a real good change for both the audience and for you, for sure, to move forward in that way, as opposed to trying to find out what your macros are and what you're eating today and like that. So I think that's a good break, a good definition of the future of the work that we're going to do.
All right. Yeah. So we'll see. The commitment that I'm making now is I will have no sugar, no flour, and no caffeine. And I will have a food plan. I will find a buddy. There's a couple of people I have in mind that I do much more successful with a food plan when I write down the night before what I'm going to eat the next day, because that helps me do some planning and to, write down, know what foods I have in the house, or if I don't have the foods, I need to shop for the foods. And that will be my commitment right now. So I'm not going to worry about the borderline foods that we talk about when we're in, the Sugar Addiction Anonymous, the sugar addiction meetings that we have. For those borderline foods are dairy, fruit, nuts, nut butters, and grains. And I will be eating some of those on my food plans very carefully and very structured. And I will be knowing that it's not so much about the food than it is about the feelings and emotions and the other things that come before the eating of the food. And
Yeah,
so that's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to be working on in the channel and that we're going to be discussing and learning and watching me progress.
perfect. That's about right. That's a good next step for us.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time. Okay. Take care. Bye.